Hello. In this episode, we are closing out the Money May theme strong, and I'm going to break down for you one of the most seemingly counterproductive money hacks that I have ever tested and experienced in my entire life. So this tip, hack, secret, code, whatever you want to call it, it is simple. It is free. You can do it instantly. You can do it all day long. And if you do, you will notice a damn near instant shift in your bank account, probably faster than anything else that we've talked about all month. It's that good. You ready to get into it? Let's go. Welcome to All In with Allie, the podcast for online business owners and entrepreneurs who are ready to create the life and business of their dreams. I am so happy you are here. I cannot believe that we are closing out May. Wow. Craziness. Crazy. I'm also excited to unveil next month's theme. We're going to talk about that at the end of this episode. It's going to be juicy. It's a juicy one. Okay, little hint. But for now, let's close out Money May in the way that it was intended to be closed out, with a freaking bang. Okay, I'm saving the best for last. I'm going to be real. I was not intending on even talking about this. It's one of those things that, I don't know, it's like so simple that it's very easy to forget. It's very easily overshadowed. But again, as somebody who I have very intentionally my whole career been very focused on cleaning up my money mindset and improving my own frequency when it comes to money. I've tested every method and strategy and secret you can imagine. And this is one of those that it's like, wait, can it be that simple? And the answer is yes, it can be this simple. Okay. So we have talked all things this month. We've talked about our common money blocks. We have talked about how to effectively unblock those blocks. We've discussed how to create more money portals in our lives. I've shared in the last episode my top 3 money hacks. And then this week, this one came to me. This week as I record this, this one came to me. I was like, wait, we didn't talk about that last week. So this is kind of a bonus one that came to me later on. So what is it? What is this fancy tip that I am teasing for you? The most seemingly counterproductive money hack that I've ever tested and experienced in my life. Drumroll, please. It is being at peace with where you're at now. Now, listen. If you even think about hovering your finger over the pause button or the stop button, thinking that you know where this conversation is going to go, or you don't need to hear anymore because you get it. It's like, yeah. Okay. Boring. Another gratitude conversation. Don't do it. Don't self-sabotage right now. I'm telling you that the most effective tips when it comes to money, when it comes to anything, it is always the most simple ones. Or at least when it comes to like energy. And I know that it was designed this way. We are the ones that overcomplicate these things. And I'm telling you again, as a practitioner, as somebody who has been so wildly curious for years now, probably 10 years now, when it comes to my own frequency, whether we're talking about money or, through any lens, this has been it. There's something about being at peace with where you are that makes you a super freaking attractor for everything that it is that you want. Being a-okay and grateful even for the money flowing into your life as we speak is going to make you a match and attract more money into your life. Sounds so counterproductive because we want more. And I believe we were designed to want more. We are designed and put on this planet to grow. I believe that every single one of us has the potential to be probably 10 times what we even dream of becoming. Every single one of us. We all have that potential. And I think it's good. And obviously for us to pursue more, There has to be a part of us that wants more. That's part of the work. You wouldn't do the work. You wouldn't even know what to ask for if you didn't want it. So this is where this gets a little confusing. It's like, okay, if I'm supposed to want more and I'm supposed to dream big and go for big, then how does it make sense to also at the same exact time be a-okay and at peace with where I'm at when with where I'm at is not where I want to stay? And I'm not grateful for where I'm at. And I'm not happy with where I am. Some of you are not happy at all with where you're at. You're actually angry about it. And that's okay. So we're going to talk through this, and I'm going to hopefully get you in a place where you can see how you can straddle the line. You can see how you can be two things at once. And when you master this, it is going to blow your mind. And then it just gets easier and easier and easier, because then you're attracting in the things that you want. Then you're a match for more money. So money's flowing in. And you know when it's really easy to be grateful for where you are? When you got money. Makes it way easier. So if you already have money flowing in a certain way, this is going to be really easy for you. And this is going to be a really good reminder and practice that's just going to amplify everything that you're doing. And if you're not happy with your money flow right now, this is going to get the money flowing. So hang with me. Okay. So here's how this works. Here is, if there was some science to it, which there is, right? Like if we were to really get into the energetics of this concept, here is how this works. Money is money. Whether it's 10 cents, $10, $10,000, $10 million, $10 trillion, money is money. Resistance to money equals resistance to money, right? If like attracts like, which is a universal law, if you have resistance to money, you are going to attract a resistance or opportunities to also and feel more resistance to money. So when you're not happy with what's in your bank account and you feel frustration around that, anger around that, you're upset, you don't feel satisfied, you don't feel grateful. What is that frequency? Scarcity, the opposite of abundance. And you attract what you put out into the world. So money flows where money is appreciated, right? Where you like abundance attracts to more abundance. So again, if you are looking at your bank account and you're like, oh God, negative again, or I only made this amount this month. I set this really big goal and I didn't hit the goal, and the money, like it didn't come. All that is resistance. So you're putting out that energy, you're going to attract it back. It's the simplest way to explain it. Now, what I'm not saying is if you're looking at your bank account and it's negative, I'm not saying jump for joy and that you should feel grateful for that. There are some things, anger, disappointment. These are great motivators, right? These are things that make you move. So we want to have a healthy self-awareness, and it's okay to have emotions for your current situation, right? I'm not saying that you need to be this robot that doesn't have feelings about where you're at. You're going to feel how you feel. But once you get past that initial feeling, this is where we want to shift it to an energy and a way of thinking that is going to serve you, that is going to promote more of what you want versus what you don't want. So if you're looking at your bank and it's negative, you're going to feel some type of way. And of course you will. You're human, and that's okay. And that's a good thing, right? If you're looking at your bank account and it's negative and you're like, yay, it's negative, we have an issue. Right? Because we got to look at why is it negative and how do we fix that? We want to take responsibility for our lives and take the power in our lives. But then past that point, it's like, okay, now what? Now what do I do? Okay, so how do I clean this up? Okay, and before it got negative, what can I be grateful for? What made it go negative? That the money was there and it allowed me, maybe you were able to buy some groceries that put you a little over the edge, or maybe you're investing heavy in your business or whatever the thing is, right? We want to shift it quickly. We want to compound. We want to put out and compound good emotions, positive emotions versus negative ones, right? Emotions that are more in line with abundance versus scarcity as much as possible. So again, a resistance to money and a continued resistance to money is simply just going to bring you more opportunities for that, which keeps this cycle going. But gratitude, as we discussed in depth in the last episode, that is an amplifier. This amplifies good feelings and more of what it is that you want. So if you can then shift as quickly as possible, in the most natural way as possible, shift it to, okay, instead of focusing on the lack that I'm seeing in this room, right? Like, we've talked before, you can walk into any situation, any room, and you can see what's working and what's not working in every situation, whether we're looking at your business, whether we're looking at your relationship, whether we're looking at anything at all, your bank account. We can look at your bank account or your business sales or your money in general, and we can find reasons and things to be grateful for in ways that it is working and serving you very well, or ways that it is not working at all. In every situation, even when you're a millionaire, you can find issues with your money flow. No doubt about it. And find reasons to why it's not good enough and why it's not, you haven't hit that, the bigger goal or whatever. So again, gratitude is an amplifier. So once you get past that initial feeling, your humanness, then we want to shift to, okay, how can I find the good in this situation and amplify more of what it is that I want? How can I do that? So if we can get you to, from a place of, this is where I'm at, okay? Everything that I'm creating right now, everything that I've attracted currently in my life is old news. It's based on old thoughts, old beliefs, old actions, old energy. So what you are seeing related to your money right now is not based on how you're being right now. It's based on how you were being before. So if you like what you're seeing, then, okay, let's say, great, how can I do more of what I'm doing? And simply amplify that. If we don't like what we see, then it's time to make a switch. And it's time to shift more to being at peace, being more grateful, and somehow releasing the resistance that we are feeling around our money. And when you can find peace with where you're at, this almost instantly releases the resistance, right? It's like an active surrender. It's like, I'm trying to think of an example, but it's like you're running against a current. Like when you're building a business and you feel like you're plateaued, or you feel as if things just aren't quite working, and you're pushing and you're trying to use all of your masculine energy and shift it and hustle and will it into working, and you're trying so hard. It feels as if you're almost swimming upstream, right? It's like all of your work is actually working against you. It's making you tired. It's making you resentful. And all you feel is resistance, right? Like you can feel that. We've all experienced this as it relates to our money, as it relates to our business, and relationships are something important to us in some way. That's what it feels like. You're swimming up a stream. And then at some point, something happens, whether you hit rock bottom or you just decide like, I'm tired, and you just stop swimming. And you're just like, you know what? It is what it is. Let going, let God, right? That moment where it's like, I'm so tired of fighting this. Why am I fighting it? And then instantly in that moment that you surrender, it's almost like a weight falls from your shoulders, right? Like you've let go of this weight that you've been lifting the whole time, because you're finally releasing the resistance. You stop fighting it. And it's not that you're saying, I'm not worthy. Why am I doing this? It's worthless. Or maybe in some sense, maybe, you've experienced that where that was the case. But hopefully it's more from an energy of like, I'm tired of fighting this right now. Like, I'll figure this out later, right? Or like, I'm going to finally lean on my faith. Like me fighting this and pushing this and resisting this, like that's the word here, is resistance. That's not getting me anywhere. All it's doing is making me frustrated and more tired and getting me more of the things that I don't want. or the way that I'm thinking about this is not serving me. It doesn't feel good to want more and to not appreciate where I'm at. I'm tired. And then you let go. You surrender. And when you surrender, when you stop that push against what is, that resistance falls. And the magic of that is energy can flow again. It is the most counterproductive. Like it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. But I think the reason why it works is because when you're resisting what is, again, that's what you're putting out is that resistance. And then when you let it go and you're saying, okay, I'm good, right? You're finally simply understanding the fact that like you're good with or without the thing. At least for now. And because you've let that resistance go, now the energy can flow. And if you're really smart about it, and if you really want to get into this, this is more of like a self-worth conversation too. And this is where the real magic happens. When you can surrender and drop resistance, not so much as a place of like, not so much from a place of I'm tired and I'm exhausted and it is what it is, but more so from a place of like, you know what? I'm in no hurry. It's not happening right now. I'm not going to force it to happen. Me forcing it is me saying that I'm not okay with where I am, that I'm not okay with who I am in this moment. And I know that I'm great. I know that I lack nothing. I am worthy of this thing. There's nothing outside of me that I am not and that I cannot have and that I'm not worthy of creating. And it's not here right now. And I don't need to force it because I'm whole on my own. I am whole on my own, independent of circumstances and things. And yes, even money. Hear the power of that. That is you taking your power out of money. Money is a tool in the same way that a hammer is a tool. Money was never meant to have power over you or me or anybody. It is simply a tool in the same way that you don't say, like when you lose a hammer in the house, you're not like, oh God, I guess I'm not worthy of having a hammer or holding a hammer. I guess like there's something in my ancestry bloodline that says like, I can't hold hammers. I can't have hammers. I'm just not worthy of hammers. It's like, go get another hammer. What do you mean? Do you know how many hammers are out there? Like, go get another hammer. You don't think that way, but we think that way. Like we overcomplicate money. We give money so much more power than it's meant to have over us. And when we do that, we take the power from ourselves. We put the power and the energy and the worthiness in something outside of us. And that is never the way that it was meant to be intended. You are whole on your own, no matter what your bank account looks like. And you are capable of creating whatever number you want in that bank account. But you will do it so much faster when you feel content where you are as who you are in this moment, not needing anything outside of you to make you feel better or to make you feel grateful or to find gratitude in this situation. So does this mean that you cannot want more? No, we've already covered that. You're meant to want more. You are meant to grow. We are here to grow, but there's an art to it. There is a balance to this. So you can be at total peace with where you are or practice, right? And like the way that I think about this, because when I tell you, as simple as this concept is, it is so difficult sometimes, right? Like if you are an ambitious person, which I feel like every single person listening to this podcast is probably the most ambitious people on the planet. So when you have the level of ambition in you that we all do, this is definitely, it's an art to practice, right? It's something that like, I really believe people like us, we've come here to really work on this and master. Because in the same way that money was never meant to rule us, our ambition was never meant to rule us either. And sometimes, like, I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel as if I'm a slave to my own ambition. And it's not meant to be that way. It's all meant to be cherries on the sundae. It's all meant to be a bonus, not the whole reason why, right? Like my worth was never meant to and isn't based on what I create and how much money I make and how many people I impact. But depending on the given day that you ask me, I might tell you that it is, or I may be putting out the energy that that's exactly what I believe. So I say that to say, like, this is something that I'm practicing all the time, and it's certainly not perfect. I am certainly not saying that I'm sitting here every single day perfectly content with the amount of money that I'm making and, the amount of people that I'm able to serve in my groups. None of that, like, absolutely not. But it's an awareness, right? It's an awareness. And the faster that you can catch yourself when you're in the feeling of this isn't enough, this isn't good enough. And the moment that you catch yourself not appreciating all of the goodness that is present in your life, we've got to catch it and we've got to turn it around, because all you're doing is emitting a lower frequency that is not a match for the things that you want to attract, including and especially more money. So you can be grateful for the amount of money in your life and what it's doing in your life as we speak, while knowing that more is always on its way. Always. But either way, you're good and you'll always be good. Name a time that nothing has worked out for you. Really think about it. Think of a time, if you can, where it seemed like things were going wrong and like really like nothing was working out for you and nothing did work out with you. Even in hindsight, you're like, yep, that thing, it did not work out for me. It didn't work out for me bad. I really cannot think of any time personally, because every situation in hindsight, I can look back and be like, okay, maybe it didn't go perfectly as planned, but I can see in hindsight how it was always working out for me. How that situation led me to the next situation, which was even better than the original one. Or that situation, things going seemingly wrong, gave me so much wisdom and gave me so much grit and so much motivation and ambition to pull me out of that situation that I'm now here with you today. Everything is always working out for us. Same thing with your money, same thing with your business. But can you believe that? Can you walk with that amount of faith? Can you walk emitting that energy and that knowing? So yeah, you can be at total peace with where you are right now and how far you've come, while also anticipating your inevitable growth. We get to do both. We get to be content and grateful and ambitious and anticipating of what's coming and excited about what's coming. And when you can do both, you are a match for miracles. You are saying, I'm so grateful for where I am. I have more than enough. Who I am is more than enough. I'm thankful and I see all the good that's transpiring in my life. And I know so much more is flowing to me as we speak. Is going to come to me in ways that I can't even imagine, that is going to surprise and delight the ever-living shit out of me. That is a match for miracles. So that lack of resistance plus gratitude, that is what makes you a super attractor for all things. Money, opportunities, love. This is why, you hear so many people tell this. It's like when you're looking for a boyfriend, right? Like if we look at this through the lens of dating, when you're looking for love and you're like really hyper fixated and focused on finding the one, it's like he's nowhere to be found or she's nowhere to be found, right? But then the second you stop looking, everybody says this, right? And we've experienced this. I know this was pretty true for me. It was like the second that I was like, I'm not content with where I am with my relationship. But like, I wasn't like actively pursuing, and I kind of like surrendered and knew that of course I'm worthy of a good relationship and he's out there somewhere. I wrote a letter to him, let it go, lived my life, had fun, and then boom, and you hear a lot of people will tell it that way. It's like the second I stopped looking. What if the second you stop looking for money and pushing and resisting up against money, it finds you? Right? Like turtle season. You heard me tell the story about the turtles in our neighborhood. and how in the spring, they're trying to make their way to and from the lake. So we find them all the time. We found one in our garage and in our yard. And I've, come across them on the street as I'm driving. And my son, one day he was like, Mommy, can we go look for some turtles? And I was like, honey, we don't need to look for turtles. Turtles are finding us. And it's true. Everywhere we look, it's a turtle. It's something turtle related. Because we're content with it, right? We're not looking for them. We're celebrating the ones that are here. We're enjoying the process. They're finding us, and we're speaking that out into the world. Honey, turtles will find us. It's turtle season, baby. What if that's the way you looked at your money? It's money season, honey. It's money May, honey. It doesn't have to end in May. So the lack of resistance and gratitude, it makes you a super attractor for all things. So here's where I want to end this today. God, universe, whoever you speak to, I'm going to say God for these purposes. God knows what it is that you want. God knows what it is that you need to live the life that you are destined to live. God can and will sometimes intercede on your behalf, as we know, but ultimately, we were given free will, and our thoughts and our beliefs and our actions carry a specific frequency. And it is universal law that like attracts like. So if you are putting out the vibe that you do not have enough, you will continue to attract opportunities to feel as if you do not have enough. But if you can shift into the energy of, I have more than enough, I am more than enough, and more is always coming, and you can practice that, you will watch in real time how the universe shifts and conspires in the favor of all that you have ever wanted. Mountain moving energy, mountain moving miracles. This is it. It can be this simple if you let it and you believe it and you practice it right now, all day, every day, and watch how fast things shift for you. Okay? Thank you so much for hanging with me for this episode. And if you listen to the rest of Money May, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have not listened to the other episodes, please do. They are all designed to go together. And it really, I've given like some of my best work in this Money May, all to serve you, all to make you a match for more of what it is that you want and that you're absolutely capable and meant to create. Okay? I love you. Ooh, do you want to know next month's theme? Next month's theme is Juicy June. All things how to be juicy. Okay. So from your marketing to your presence, to your vibe, to the things that you put out, to the people that you attract into your world, the juicier you are and the juicier your brand and your offers and the more that you exude. Like when I say juicy, what I mean is like, it's addicting and what is the word? I can't even think of the word that I'm trying to think of, but like when it comes to your ideal client, it's like, you're it, like the offer, it's like, take my money immediately. When they read your posts, it's like, holy crap, she's speaking to my soul. Like that is juicy, right? It's you fully tapped into your power, fully tapped into your knowing, fully tapped into your most authentic self and who you were made to be on this planet. And you honor that and you mirror that in your actions and everything that you put out in your business. That is juicy. And that is what we're getting into in June. It's going to be juicy. Okay. I love y'all. See you next week. Bye.